Morning, church. This is Pastor Brandon here with you, and I am excited to start a new study. We're going to be looking at the Book of Jonah. Now, Jonah is a prophet to the northern kingdom, and God has called him to go to Nineveh, and we're going to be talking about that. You can see Jonah also introduced in 1 Kings chapter 14, and that's where his kind of story starts. But we're just going to look right in the book of Jonah, and tomorrow we're going to get started on that. And I want you to be thinking before we start about compassion, because when we look at the story of Jonah, what you're going to see is God offering compassion not only to Jonah. You're going to see God offering a lot of compassion to Jonah, but you're also going to see God extending his compassion to the Ninevites, who are not deserving of compassion or forgiveness or anything, and yet God saves them. He rescues them out of their own depravity. And it's a very good story. It's also a great way for us to learn how to maybe obey God, because you're going to see Jonah walk in disobedience. He's going to run from God. He's going to try to escape God's will for him, partly because he's heard of the Ninevites. He's a little bit afraid to go to the Ninevites. He's also a little bit upset that God would want to forgive such a people for all of the atrocities that they've brought on other people. And again, so you're going to see God work through compassion, both for Jonah, his prophet that he's called to go to the Ninevites, as well as through his compassion on the Ninevites. And you're also going to see how Jonah, from the beginning to end, is a little bit resistant to God. So it's an interesting take on how a prophet, a man called of God, can go do God's will in spite of even his own feelings and desires, because he doesn't want to do anything that God's calling him to do. And we're just going to talk about that over the next few weeks. So church, can't wait to get into Jonah with you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, and we'll get started in Jonah chapter 1. Love you guys.